Good noon, sir. This is Mohammad Isarul Islam, and I will be presenting today's presentation of the global expansion plan Tata Steel post-pandemic period in Indonesia and Australia. How we will proceed? At first, we will talk about the company, well, that is the Tata Steel in brief, the impact of corona pandemic on the steel industry of Indonesia, impact of corona pandemic on the steel industry of Australia, country risk analysis of Australia, country risk analysis of Indonesia, suggestions for Tata Steel to expand in Australia, suggestions for Tata Steel to expand in Indonesia. Tata Steel. Tata Steel was established in 1907 by Jamshedji Mustafa Tata, and Tata Steel established first plant at Sakchi now Jamshedpur with the vision that they aspire to be the global steel benchmark for value creation and corporate citizenship. Tata Steel is a Fortune 500 company and it is Asia's first and India's largest steel producer in private sector. World's second most geographically diversified steel producer and has a global presence in over 50 nations and the manufacturing unit in 26 countries. Basically, if you talk about a topic that is the impact of corona pandemic on Tata steel industry of Indonesia, then there is a huge effect on the corona pandemic on the Indonesia and particularly in the steel industry of Indonesia. The demand of steel has decreased by 90% from normal time. And there is no demand in the core industries like manufacturing, automotive, construction, and oil and gas exploration, and thereby there is no demand for steel. And if you talk about the total non-oil gas import, of which steel is a major component, this dropped by 23% year on year basis in March 2019. And the steel minister is also worried about the situation and he urged the steel producer to tap and explore the opportunity. That is, the own steel producers were unable to sell their produce, then though they were importing the product last time, and now they are unable to sell their own products. If we talk about and the steel minister suggested the steel producers to produce hypodermic needles for the healthcare sector because it is the need of the hour as of now in the COVID-19 pandemic period. We talk about the impact of corona pandemic on the steel industry of Australia. So basically, Australia is a quite resilient country, or proved to be quite resilient during COVID-19 pandemic, and especially the iron ore and metallurgical coal mining industry. Australia's iron ore and metallurgical coal export account for 60% of the global seaborne supply in 2019 when the whole world is having COVID-19 crisis. And the iron ore headline of Australia hit a high record level in March 2020. The export was a record high level. And the coal production and logistics remain unaffected. And due to the reason that iron ore and coal mining operations and the corresponding logistics are automated to a great extent. That is, they are automated, so they are naturally less of the human power is required in Australia to use the iron and coal mining operations to do the iron and coal mining operations. Basically, situation is pretty good in Australia even though in the times of 19. If we talk about the country risk analysis of Australia, so basically if we check the risk of Australia, if someone is trying to directly invest, then there is a healthy competitive environment. So there is a low political violence risk, low expropriation, and low uncomfortability and transfer restriction risk in Australia. Basically, Australian government is providing huge opportunities and a friendly environment to the foreign direct investors as well. We talk about the export transaction in Australia, then very low short and long-term political risk. We talk about the risk in special transaction, then it is also very low. And there is no risk in premium classification OECD transaction, that is the agreement transaction. but there is a high commercial risk. We talk about the country risk analysis of Indonesia. Then, in the export transaction, the political risk is very low, and there is a low to moderate risk in long term, and there is less risk in special transaction, and low to medium risk in premium classification OECD transaction, and a high commercial risk. If we talk about the direct investment, then there is a moderate expropriation risk and low to medium political violence risk, and low to medium currency inconvertibility and transfer restriction. So basically now the plan or the suggestion that I can give Tata Steel to expand in Australia after the analysis, that is the Australia the better place as compared to Indonesia to invest, especially in foreign direct investment. No doubt, there is a huge demand of Australia's metallurgic iron ore. Tata Steel should invest more and expand in Australia. And also they can increase their stake in Scarborough Downs coal mine, in which they have 6% stake, and they can increase it, and can also start operations alone as well. It is less risky place to invest in the operation. If we talk about the suggestions of the plan to expand in Indonesia, the demand for steel, as already noted, contracted by 90% in COVID-19. So the risk is more in foreign direct investment as compared to export, as we have seen this in the country risk analysis. So the Tata Steel can find a good importer in Indonesia, and as per the requirement, they can import to Indonesia because there is no such demand in Indonesia as of now, and even though their own existent producers are unable to sell their product. Export is a feasible option if the company situation will improve, then Tata Steel can export it. And Tata Steel can also partner with a good local partner to in Indonesia to invest more and can start its operation, but with profit sharing basis and with the risk sharing basis. Because Indonesia is a risky place. That's all from my side. Thank you very much.